Tell them to drop anything they can find, anything that makes a noise. You know, Vince once told me of a running meet over in Guinea with half-empty pop bottles.
What?
Yeah, they burst on impact, make a hell of an explosion.
Good.
Now don't tell me they don't have seltzer in Tel Aviv.
Mr. Miss, payback bouquet. They think we're crazy.
Good.
Right, now we're going to split it in two columns and attack from opposite directions. Mickey,
Huh?
I've never faced tanks before, neither have my men.
David, that's all right. The Egyptians have never faced seltzer. What's this for?
A trick we learned from the Stukas in the underwar. It's like a whistle. It screams on the way down.
That's great, I make two of us.
I did a lot of research, obviously, about the War of Independence, and I had a technical advisor who was Colonel Gershon Rivlin, R-I-V-L-I-N, who was the official historian of the Israeli army. And he gave me many stories, and I used a lot of them, and one of the stories was the fact that they actually did, since at the beginning of the war, they really didn't have any aerial bombs of any sort. They had a minor air force of a couple of planes, and they did use seltzer bottles at one point because the Arab armies coming in didn't know what was going to hit them, and the seltzer bottle, when it hits the ground, makes a big splash, and that was the only weapon they had at that time. They told me about Gershon Rivlin told me that they put a piece of metal on the top and twisted it so that as it went down through the air, it made a whistle, and that sounded more like a bomb than if it didn't have it. So it would whistle on the way down, explode when it hit, and supposedly the Arab armies had never seen seltzer before, so it was used as an attack weapon. I really don't know how many times it might have been used. Obviously, it couldn't be used many times because it would become obvious after a while. But I know they did use it in one attack, and it made it legitimate for me to incorporate it in the film. You know, basically it was just a reflection of how little they had when they began that war.